We're going to go live. In fact, before anyone arrived, we were alive. You know you're alive. If I say it to you, you can think it. But now you're thinking it because I'm saying it. But you probably wouldn't think it, and you probably wouldn't be here if I wouldn't say it. Okay. I do not like not knowing who's on, who's not on. I cannot look at that. It bothers me. It bothers me. So I'm going to cover it up. Just want to see, I keep, just give me 1 second. I have to answer this message. I'm trying to figure out how to answer the message. How do you figure it out? Give me 1 second. Just give me a second. How do I do this? Okay. Wow, it's pretty dark here. Just give me a second to catch up with this. Wow, this is the darkest phone I've ever seen. Okay, let me continue on. So I don't know if anybody's here. Let me take a peek. Yes, I think the robot is here. So this is what we're going to start with. I finished this in the last video. Let me show you what it is. In the last video, I was talking about the king and the queen and the and this board over here. This is a 12 by 12 board, right? If you wanted to start the king or the queen, if the queen started here, she can cross the whole board. She can make 7 moves, and 1 she is standing. It's the same thing they go when you say stand on 17 in blackjack. So 21 in blackjack, what would that be? Would that be the horse moving 2 and 1? It's also a 3 to 2 move, and now this is starting to get confusing. 3 and 2 in blackjack. When you get a blackjack, you get 3 to 2. They also say it's 1.5 to 1. 1.5 times 4 equals to 6. Now, if I have the same 4, right? If I have the same, how can I say it? 3 to 2. 3 to 2. So if I have 2 equals 3 and 2 equals 3, so we have 4 equals 6. So different ways to come into the same denominator using the numeric value for Mars 15. Mars 15 comes out of the base multiplication star system, okay, and addition, right? Remember how we used to scale out where we were plus, 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 minus, 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 plus. We were taught all the elements to calculate what we did, what we used with this, but I also like to use it in these scenarios if I can possibly find the area that I need to put it in. Where else am I? So this here is a reflection of where Earth, Venus comes together, and this is where Mercury and Jupiter come together. 3 and 2 equals 5, 1 and 5 equals to 6. And what's ironic is 1 times 5 equals to 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 6. 2 times 3 equals to 6, 2 plus 3 equals to 5. So the math talks for itself. They're both in creation, 1 in creation from Mars and 1 in creation from 11. 11 is creation, recreation of creation through Mars. How is that possible? Well, the math shows it. Well, what else does it show? Well, 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 times 2 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 and 2, 3 and 2, same math. It'll equal the same thing. Are there any other ways to get there? There sure is. This is where pi comes in, equals to 14. 2 plus 7 equals to 9. 0, 9 equals to 23. I don't care if it's separated or apart, they come together. The end result of that star system. How can we get it again? Well, 3 times 5 equals 15. 3 plus 5 equals 8. We got 23. 14 and 15 is where pi comes in. 3.1415. But that's not it. They total 29. So I'm going to put 29 this way. And this totals 5. And this one totals 6. 3.14159265. And that's your number for pi. That's your number for pi. I don't know why my phone keeps doing that. Yeah, I just asked my brother-in-law. I said to my brother-in-law, I says, how is the warm weather? He answers me, hot like my wife. That's my sister. That's my brother-in-law. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so we're going to continue on where I am inside of this. So we're going to maybe just leave this alone and give you a better understanding of this number. This number is a special number because it's used twice. This number is used twice, okay? 11 a.m. or 2300 hours. They call it 100 hours. And the word 100 in hours or 2300 hours, I forget, the red is 27. The hue, okay, the hue is 29. The ND is coming in third. So the ND equals to 18, your DNA. So you now have 29 to Ra of red. And this one is creation of big red. The numeric value is NI. Another one for in. Like when you go to Lucifer or St. Nicholas or that name Nikki, that NIC, okay, is the creation in beta creation. This is the passage through the sun, the birth and passage through the sun. The 9 and the 14 in the alphabet, I'm not fluent on this, okay? But the I is the highest numeric value you will reach first. The R, although it's 18, it takes 2 cycles of 9. When you add up 1 through 9, it equals to 45. You have just the halfway between one angle, the chicken foot. Then you go again, 1 through 9 equals to 45. And now you can do another angle of the chicken foot. And you've come up with your first 6-point star. I only look for relationships. I don't know what they mean. 90 is B through M. Okay, B through M, 2 through 13 equals to 90. Or we can go 1 through 12 equals to 78. These are primary. I have to remove one. If I use all 13 of them, I'm going to have to use 3 dice. Okay, I have to use 3 dice. Here, it's a minimum of 2 dice. Here, no, sorry, yeah, here's the minimum of 2 dice because my smallest number is 2. Here, I can use the dice together and separately added over here because I go down to 1. But there's another base for this. This is the king and this is the queen. 13 is the king and 12 is the queen. It is also known as the dame. It is also known as the roi. It is also number 4 and 3, revelating DC, also revelating cold and hot. There's something else in here. This is 1 and 3 equals to, let's say 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. And this is 2 through 4, 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 9. So it's showing me in rotation to the gateway of the birth and rotation of time. Our time should be 90. It's another pitch of 1.5 times 60 to equal to 90. Forget about that 6. We are the 6 in that birth. Communication, continuous communication in 9 in all worlds that we travel. There's something that's missing in here. I don't remember what it is. The king creates DC. The king is the 3rd die. The king, something about the king, I don't remember what it is. Comes the cat. This becomes the moon. This we shows up on the moon over here. Everybody's expressing. And why do I call this? I call this man because when 13 comes together, you have your bar mitzvah. Okay. When 12 comes together, you have your bat mitzvah. And these are the ways I work it. I work it by what Earth works by. This is what's worked on Earth because Earth has to work the altar system. If this was science, there has to be an altar system. It has to come from somewhere else. There has to be a beginning. There has to be an extension of a beginning that gives life to where we are. Otherwise, without the beginning, how did we get here? The Big Bang was the beginning of the next world. Should I say of the next worlds or cycle of worlds? While everything is settling into place, life goes on. So when we do this, again, here's something that I find really odd, okay? And it might have something to do with the moon. The beta moon running on analog. We are moving over to digital. AD 1 and 4 comes together. 1 and 4 representing 1 quarter. 1 quarter or 1 quarter of time. Again, pi, where things got divided. I can't divide time like this. I have to have angle. What is that angle? What is that angle? That angle. What are we going to run time? How do we run our 60 seconds? How do I chop this up? Is it here and maybe here and here? That's what it would be. So I would have to, this line here, and this line here, and run this line here, showing that one of these lines of the original 6 is running with divided time. Do you understand? Only one of these is riding with the other pieces. And like I said, we spoke the king and the queen and the movement of the king and the queen. The king can move 8 and 3, and the queen can move, this is the king, his movements, okay, is 8 and 3, and the queen's movement is 1 and 7. Okay, 1 and 7. I'm just thinking. What I'm saying is the directions the king can move, it can move in 8 directions, okay, set up in the 9 lives of the cat. He can move in 8 directions. But if the king was set up in the corner over here, it can only move in 3 directions. Now, if the queen was set up over here, she can only go in 1 direction. She has a possibility that if she was over here, she can go in 1, 2, 3, 4 directions. But the queen has the capabilities of going right across the board and moving 7 directions. 1, 4, 7. 12. The 12th letter is L. 3, 6, 9. I didn't want to get into this right now, but I'm going to jump into it. 3, 6, 9 equals to 18. The letter R. RAPHAEL. The center equals to 15. It's O RAPHAEL. The greatest distance between 2 letters, matching 1 and 9, and the greatest number on the board, not counting 89 from the greatest distance. 19 equals to the letter S. The greatest number is the letter I. O Israel. O Israel brings in the birth of 1 and 9 equals to 10. A, B, C, 6, and D, 4 equals to 10. All zeros equal to 6. As now we're going to go into the next equation before I stop on this equation. Is this equation right over here. My questioning is, what is the value of one of these boxes? Is the value 4 or is the value 10? Or can I only get a value of 10 over here? So when we're talking about 10-4 communication, or if we're going to put on the 7th gate over here, all zeros equal to 6, that 10 would now be 16, would then be 7 and 4. And now we match up to Jesus of time. The half-life, the spirit of 76, joining these two worlds together. Okay, I have a phone call, but I'm gonna have to I have to answer it that way. Yeah. So yeah, so now I'm questioning myself. So in the first situation, I'm going to say to myself, this is a total of 4, but I didn't. I said it's a total of 10. I gave each box a total of 10. But should I or shouldn't I? In this situation, okay, I'm giving this whole entire numeric value a total of 20. Between 1 and 9 is 10. Between 3 and 7 is 10. That's a total of 20. But since each area is the same size, but I only have 4 areas, 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. That's all I got. So now I want to find the value of this one over here. So I'm going to just tell you what I did in the first scenario, okay? Just so I can get by this. Just so I can get by this. In the first scenario, I just said each one of these are 2.5, and I was looking at this design as being like this, as these being starting points to the corner of the buildings, and this being the streetway, right? We would have to go up the street this way and come around if we had to go this way, or maybe come around if we had to go back this way. I'm not really sure which way the streets would go. But anyways, I was just saying, okay, 1 block is 10. So now I add 2 more dots. Here I had 4 dots. Now I have 6 dots. And I called it 20. Then I wanted to go to 30, so I had 2, 4, 6, and then I added 2, so I got 8 dots. And then I had 30. And now, at 8 dots, 30, with 9 dots, I got 10, 20, 30, 40. So 9 dots, I have 40. So here, before I had anything that happened, I needed 4 dots. So my questioning is A plus B plus C plus D equal to that 10 is the reason I gave it 10 and I got 4 dots. Now I have to keep it to the smallest, to the minimum, okay, so I can understand each cell, right? But A, if A was on its own, wouldn't I say this was A? If I said B, where would I put B? Would I say this was B? Or would I just put B next to A, saying now that I was first A as 1, now I'm B as 2. 1 A and A, but now I'm B. Or how would I say 3? How would I say 3? You see in the dice, okay, you're saying 3 this way. You're saying 3 this way. So you're saying more than 3, because if I was C, okay, then I'd be A. So I'd have to have my own position in each one. So I am now 6. How do I become 6 in this situation? That's my question. I'm trying to understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm 6 without creating another design. I am 7 for 2 squares, or 20. And I am 8, 9, 10. 10 for 3 squares. And so now we have 10 and 7. Now the magical thing about this, you see we had 20 over here. Now we have 30 over here. And again, it stems right back to, although this is 50, they each get 6, make it 62. And that is the Queen's way. But the numeric value of 7 and 10, the Queen's way, well, let's prove it. Let's see. First of all, 10 plus 7 equals 17Q. That's pretty good. How do we create it? 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to 7 equals to 10. We want to look at it another way. Yes, 9 plus 8, which is created from Ra. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 equals to 9 equals to 8 equals to 17, 27. We're going to slash it. The multiplication and the addition of 72, 70, 17 equals to 44 area space. I like to play micmac with my numbers. This is it in a larger scale. If I use each point as the center, joining all the houses in the roadway, or I use each point as their own dimension. Now, I'm not sure if I should put 9 or I should put 4. Maybe I should be creating from this sides, right? Maybe I should be creating from these sides. The house of 9 from those corners. Like the 4 buildings, we have the divided roadways over here. I'm questioning myself. Remember, I'm questioning myself. And this is building of sections of 2 by 2 and 3 by 3, which is all Mars and Earth. Even though it's Venus Earth, it's Mars Earth. Somehow Mars brings Venus brings on Mars life. I don't know how that works, but and it's Venus is the female, and sorry, Venus. Hold on a second. Mars, M for Mars, E for Earth. 13 is the M male Mars, and Earth is the 5 female. That's what it's telling me in basic numbers, and I'm judging that off of the first letter. M for Mars, M-A, A-M, A to M is 1 through 13 equals to 91, the spirit. Ends in an S, right? Coming from the east. And then we have Earth, time heaven. The counting of numbers. The gold from the moon. Anytime you have EA together, change it for an O. But once you have the E inside, you have to go for the whole family. Okay, sorry. Once you have the A, holy mac. Once the 2 of them are together, that come together as O, it creates the F family. When you add A through E, okay, it equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. Okay, it is the O letter, the 15th letter. Ford 150. So they changed the F to a Ford 150, and you've told the whole secret inside this little thingy over here. Hey, Mick-Mac, as I turn up. What did you turn up? You had to turn up. You get your garden ready? You get that garden ready. Watch out what you're planting in that garden. Be careful. Treat her nice. You know, the most amazing thing you can do in the world that like sometimes it freaks people out is to be nice to people. And then when you're too nice to people, oh, you're being too nice to me. You're just being nice to everybody. How can you be so nice to everybody? Maybe you shouldn't be so nice. You know what? When you have to stick up for things, you stick up for things. You don't have to. You be nice because sometimes it's funny to be nice, right? Anyways, the word nice, and what's funny about it is because nice and Nick and the E world to nice and Nikki, and in the movie, she had horns and that was her name. I don't remember the name of the movie, and that's why I brought it up. But let's go back to 1 through 13, and Earth is EA. So we bring in the fox. When you bring in the fox, you bring in the love, you bring in the angel. Angel 10. Why? Both words have a value of 39. The O is the 15th letter. The X is the 24th letter, equaling to 39. Route 66. Why not go Route 66? Travel the star system with the King 8. What did the King 8? Here's your 8. Here's your star over here. And there's only 6 on the star. I don't know if you can see it, but there's only 6 on the star. And because it's so schmibbled up, it looks like the Star of David, right? There's only 6 on the star. But look at it from this distance. Look at this from the distance. Doesn't it look like the moon? Anyway, so that's the King 8 because of the directions the king can move. He is King 8. It is Queen 4. Neptune and Mars reverse. Reverse Saturn and Venus. 1922, 41. 1922, 41. 14, 13, 27. 9 and 5. I'm just trying to think of something. But anyways, let's leave that alone. So we've done this whole thing. We've done the measurements. 6 dots, 20. 4 dots, 10. 6 dots, 20. Here's the 4 dots. Here's the 6 dots. 8 dots, 30. 9 dots, 40. So from every box. So here we got 4 dots. We have 10. I added only 2 more dots, only 2 more dots. And in the last box, I only had to add 1 dot to create this. This is meaning, I don't know where. My first one took 4, A, B, C, D. Then it took 2 more, over to 20. Now the question is, do I count the dots along with it? Because 4 dots equals to the 10 box. Do I add 4 here? Okay, over here I'll add 6, plus 4, plus 6. Over here I'll add 8, and over here I'll add 9. Because of the number of dots, and every single box gets 10, plus adding up all the dots together. Actually, it would change it, because if I added up all these dots together as the numeric value of the area, it would give me a different number. But this is, anyways, what it is. This is the center dot. We're not going to get into that. Anyways, that's that equation. We're going to move on to another equation. And that's going to be the end of the video. In the end of this video here, I just wanted to write that to create, the C and the R come together, the 2 letters turn to the O, and that becomes the core, 3, 15, and 8. This one becomes rotation, in rotation. 3 by 33.99 in rotation of Route 66 through Jupiter. This is the mass, 33. 33 is gold, which evaluates 33 mass into 38 gold into OR gold. This is the club, the gold club. Club is numeric value 38. It runs into electric company. How do we want to look at electric company? Do we want to look at it dams, barrage, creation of electric? We want to look at waterworks and electric companies. So now we're looking at the dams and electricity. So we're looking at plumbing. We're looking at P&E, plumbing and electricity, plumbing and electric. So I'm just going to have to think of what I want to think about this, because this tells me about 75, the moon of the half-life. When you have a half-life, you have 2 moons or 1 moon. But anyways, I went through this whole thing, and we're going to leave it at that. And for those who don't know, the 147L369R 258-15O, the greatest number 19S, the greatest number 9, O Israel, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for being here. Nice. Nikki. Nice. Is that what it says? I couldn't read it. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm on an angle.